Alrighty. Hello, HRA. Just having a bit of silence, chilling, getting the last of my stats and standings ready for another one. This one is Division 2, and with it, straight away for the viewers, bad news from my end. Not horrible real life news, more the fact that I'm on holiday in 2 days. I'm watching cricket with my dad, because why not? Be social with the family. The Friday after, I am on holiday at a military show, but that is maybe up for debate. I might come back for the last half of the day. Probably will be coming back. So that one, next week, Friday, Division 1, is a bit of a meh, maybe. I'm good for the Friday after, but the one after that is a firm no. I am away on a camp that I have been to every year of my life bar 5 years, I think. So I would come home for it, but that's one of the things that I look forward to somehow more than HRA in the year. Would you believe it? But so to recap, and also the Wednesday on that week. So this week can't do Friday. Next week can maybe do Friday, but I'm good for Division 2 on Wednesday. The week afterwards is all good, but the week after that, no Div 2 or Div 1 from me. I'm going to try and get cover in. I've got a couple names that spring off the top of the head, but if you know anyone who is up to commentate this coming Friday, so it would be Friday the 2nd, Friday the 9th, as definite ones in the near future, and then, oh gosh, testing my maths, but yeah, DM me, MSE Apollo on the Discords, and we can see about that. It would be best if they're on Xbox as well, because, and also if they don't have the game, no worry, HRA League has the game purchased. So if they log into the Xbox account, they can download the game. Unfortunately, can't game share and use it on other accounts. But it has the game, so they could probably go racing on the HRA League account if they wanted to run career mode or something. Because we definitely ask no league racing and stuff on it, because this is our account that I mainly run, maintain and pay for just to keep things going. But yeah, DM MSC Apollo in the Discord. I'm always active, even though I might not respond straight away. I am usually at work, but I do cut down my lunch break so I can have time to respond to everyone's messages. So today then, as we join the session. But yeah, for definite, I'll be missing 1 Division 3 race this month and 3 Division 1 races at the minimum. Maybe 2, and I've just hit the wrong button. Reload the game. Thank you, LFC. You're an absolute legend. Aren't we all, Ramsey? Aren't we all? Of course, Ramsey looking for redemption from the wheel disconnects, which I did shun in comms. I'd like to apologise for that. It did look like you were firmly just sitting on the outside there, but a wheel disconnect for Ramsey, so not much you can do. I used to have a CSL Elite, Fanatec, and that was a common issue with them. It happened twice. The first time it was under warranty, got it fixed. The second time it was like £50 postage, including the insurance, and £50 back with £106 import fee, so 206 quid to repair my wheel. So I said no, bought a new one that didn't work properly, and I still have that a year later. Yes, CSL Elite. So I know Fanatec's having issues right now, but the USB-C connector on the back of CSL Elites, over time, maybe 3 or 4 years of constant use, 5 or 6 years of meh use, they too tend to go. But don't send it back to Fanatec. Ramsey, look for a local computer or tech expert who can get that fixed for you, because that is what I didn't do, and that is a mistake that I've only just realised, that I could have just gone to a tech guy and said, I need a new USB-C outlets or USB port at the back. It's not a USB on the CSL Elite. That's just what I'm calling it, because that's what I called it. But let's get a new one, and it's good. It was about, well, funnily enough, Netherlands. Last year in Division 1, I stuck it on pole, was leading the race, wasn't going to win it, I didn't have the pace, but I was going to get P2 at the very least. And my wheel died as I was weaving to warm the tyres up, after we'd had a restart and I'd got a wheel glitch, where you lost force feedback before the restart, so 2 wheel glitches in one, and I said no, I'm going back to commentating because I love this league too much. To be fair, I could race on pad, but I strongly dislike racing on pad. As someone who's raced in real life, even in owner-driver karts, 2-stroke things that are rocket ships, having a controller as an input device doesn't click with me. It doesn't work. I can't. It's one of those things where it's, you know you can do it, but you're not used to the input device. And so you know where to place the car, where to brake, when to turn, everything. You know it in and out. I've been top level on esports on the F1 games, and to go to a controller and be 3-4 seconds a lap slower is a real struggle. So Ramsey hoping for a points finish. I think after the performance last time around, pace-wise, I'd say it's very much on the cards. And Netherlands always chucks a couple safety cars in the mix. It's just making sure you're not the one that caused it. And so while we're here, evening, hello people. And while we're here, might as well do my best Crofty impression. Today we are at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. First appeared on the F1 calendar in 1952, look at that. But dropped off in 85 because of the safety standards. But in 21 we got this beautiful gem of a track back with only 14 corners. Weirdly enough, 14B, the final corner, because it's a double radius corner. But not counting 14B, you have 10 to the right and 4 to the left, so very, very bad on the front left tyre, especially on 21 and 22. The carcass of the tyre, the internal, on the medium and the soft, if you run tyre pressures wrong on the medium, that was soft, it would always overheat after a lap. In fact, even to the point where on outlaps you'd purposefully keep that front left low on temperature. I'd have it blue on the carcass when it come out on 21, this track, and it would still be orange by the end of the lap, because it's just the nature of the track. So that is something that we'll factor into those who run the soft compound tyre in the race. It will be good for all of about a lap and a half, 2 laps, and then it will crumble due to the front left going off and understeering. And one overtaking opportunity at this track as well that is king to all of them, and that is heading into the mighty Tarzan curve, the only corner on the track that I can pronounce the name of, because I know there's a few Dutch people in this league and I don't want to get my house blown up. So I'm not even gonna try. A lot of them have got bot in the name, which I'm guessing means corner. Hunson Rug is one of them. I'm sorry, I said that bad on purpose. Let me clarify that. Yeah, pretty difficult. Ate a bowl of consistency tonight. A Valtteri Bottas out in here. Don't need the porridge in the morning. Needs the consistency. And he does after last time. As we've got Wheelsy, current leader in the Div 1 standings, in the chat. Very, very strange not to be racing with Wheelsy since he's joined. I mean, I said it in the Div 1 stream, but looking back for our old chats, it's incredible how technical I used to be at the games. But of course, and pace-wise, Jesus, man. I wish. But don't think I'm gonna get a fan attack now. I'll get a Mozza or something. But yeah, today Carl needs a bit of redemption here, because last time Raven was not the quickest car on the grid. He'll be first to admit that. It was Carl. Carl just made too many small errors here. He has raced previously, and he was under a different name, WOR Stewart. It was that's why I've not seen Carl's name, but Stewart always somewhat competitive. But Carl has stepped it up this game, it must be said. Wilsey is the Flash. Man had me cooked at every track but Canada and Mexico. Those were my babies back in the day. No, I could hop on a race and be. I think there was a 1-6v6 for MSC where we had someone who was not meant to be in the race, so was going to get DSQ'd, but I think he was a wrong name in the car. It should have been someone else, and he was miles better than everyone else, but I managed to stick with him and won because he got a penalty. I did, but Wheelsy, man, I was practicing 6-7 hours for them races at Mexico and Canada especially. This is the reason why I've had since you remember there was that race at Canada where I dropped out and it somehow made us win, whereas Inters, that was the first time I ever had my migraine issue pop up, and that has literally plagued me since then. I can't be on screens for too much, literally since then, so I have MSE and 6v6 to thank for me my eyes getting buggered. That was the amount of practice I put in, but I'd do it all again. Being that competitive is just, it's something else, because you know you're good when you're racing the big names. But yeah, Mexico, man. Oh, got me reminiscing to the S's on F121. It was flat if you got it perfect. Even on the hard tyres, it was flat if you got it perfect. And I pretty much got it down to a T where I was only lifting once or twice a race through there. And it was, well, I might be nostalgic glazing. I don't think it was fully flat on the hards, but it was certainly close. And man, I cooked at that track. That was my first track that I got a top 50 in the world on F1 2019 as well. First track I ever raced on a wheel at on F1 2017 in Alonso's 2006 Renault. So a lot of history with Mexico. So if ever we come at Mexico, you'll hear me just a lot more invested somehow again. But that track is a special one for me. I do want to go there one day and watch a race. And hopefully I'll be getting a wheel and maybe racing in Div 1, but I don't think I will, because comms is just something else. It's if it was any other league in terms of quality, I know this sounds like I'm glazing, but if there's any other league in terms of quality, I would jump at the chance to get back in a car, honestly. But this league, if I got a wheel, even if I was gonna win every race and dominate. I wouldn't race because I love commentating in this league so much. The racing is always incredible. This Netherlands, for me as a commentator, is special because there was a realistic race here where I weren't going to join, but I was bored, so I joined halfway through quali to commentate, and that ended up being the single best race I've ever watched. Okay, I did think it was the Abu Dhabi race a while back, where Maz overturned that deficit of 20 points, but the glazing's worn off. It was this race, F122, realistic. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Rain in the race, says Raven. So that front left on the inters. Let's hope it's not too awkward for the drivers. I'm also going to close the chat. Sorry, I've just seen someone's message in the Hearts chat. Hammy, I'll spare you reading that on stream if you're watching back the VOD. I am going to keep an eye on my delivery because there is someone turning up with some food soon. I've ordered myself some KFC because it's payday. And half of it's already gone on expenses. As I've got a lot to waffle about this race, I'll be quite honest. There is plenty to waffle. Talking F1 and talking real life. So we will do that. Let's take the tyre graphic off for you and give you the off-board camera of Raven. For now, on his outlap. Once again, you've got to bring these softs in nice and steady. Still an issue I had in F123 when I raced around here. Of course, this is a proud track for me. It's my second HRA pole. First in an equal division was round here. And, well, only before I hung the gloves back up. And first one, I think, was USA in an Aston Martin realistic. Once again, thought I'd throw it back, get the 8 hours practice. Oh. That's easy money, man. That is easy money. It's always when I'm, like, not slagging someone off, but like talking bad about their race. It's always I hate it because I feel so bad. I do genuinely feel bad if I'm saying bad stuff about someone in comms, like if they've caused a crash or something and I'm like, yeah, slam dunk pen. It does feel really bad. Saji last round springs to mind where I was like, yeah, slam dunk pen on pushing Raven into the pits. Yeah, slam dunk. But at the end of the day, as a commentator, you gotta. Alright. I will be back. My food is about to arrive. Alright, I am back. It will be a bit of an absent quali, I'll be honest. But yeah, Saji is gonna cook today, because Saji is the GOAT. A small mistake last time round. It is what it is. It happens. Ooh, where are you going, Raven? That's not the right line to take on the exit of 4. Oh, dearie me. Is Raven lost? Oh, we're really cooking today. Got a couple cans of Guinness in the fridge. Mendel goes second. The return of a GOAT in this league in the name of Mendel. Glad to see that name back in the field, truly. Red Bull name through and through as well. I'm think division champion last season. I think division 3. I'm thinking. I'm remembering somehow. Alright, I'm going to go silent for comms. I know this is not very professional of me, but I've got to eat. I am starving. I haven't eaten since breakfast, and that was 9 this morning. So I'm going to devour my food, and I will, at the very least, be back for the start of the race. Alrighty. I thought I'd come back for the last bit of qualifying here. Saji gets a penalty after colliding with Harash on the outlap, and indeed there has been quite a bad collision there with the kick Sauber, that looked like. It will have been most likely on a flyer, and it's Kai with half a front wing on that car. Oh dear. But anyway, we have the final bout of flying laps here. Right now, Bloomsy set the pace with the last fly, but Carl, with his first banker, put it on provisional pole at the start of the session. So here we go then. This is LFC building up for his lap. Same cannot be said about Raven. He is actually on his flying lap here. What can the McLaren do? Winner last time out. Took advantage of Carl's inconsistencies. But that kick Sauber in the way forced Raven into an unideal line, and he would have lost a heap of time there. Round turn 14 and 14B he goes towards the line. What can the McLaren do? Teammate on pole. He puts it third provisionally, but plenty of flying laps to go here. Wide into Tarzan just to get out of the way of the Mercedes. It may be on an outlap. I think it's Hammer coming out the pits. No, it's not. It was Nico starting a flying lap. Snap of oversteer for Rogue Nico. But here we go. We'll keep an eye at the front of the pack then. And Bloomsy puts it further towards the better, half a tenth. Carl currently is down. This is quite a pole prominent circuit. But the front row not too bad as well. Overtaking is possible around this track if you hook it all up. But Carl will want it to be on pole, because Bloomsy was his main rival last time out. But Carl backs out of the lap, unable to find any improvement. Will Pintita improve? He is 4 tenths up, 2 tenths up on the last lap. Unable to. I think this is an in-lap. LFC on an in-lap as well. No improvement there. Horn down. Hampan is on a flying lap, maybe. Whatever it is, it's being held up by the Aston Martin of Ramsey, who is pushing on. Saji. Towards the line comes Mendel. No improvement there. Nico not on a flyer, as it were. Ramsey, I think, is going again, but this looks like it's settled as our order here, as everyone dives into the pits. Tricky pits here to get it on the speed limit. People love to brake very, very soon. Carl P2 out of CP5. That is RB's result, but the best of the field is McLaren. P1 and P3. Carl Power in a Williams. No, that's LFC, his teammate. Sorry, I was going to say afterwards. LFC in a Williams sandwich, and Carl in a McLaren sandwich. There'll be no improvements across the board from the drivers you see on laps. This is just us waiting for the end of the session. And I'm going to mute up. I'll be back for the build up to the race. But I got half a burger left. Alrighty, we are back. And it's rain at Zandvoort. This one is gonna be exciting. The coast of the North Sea bringing some rain into Zandvoort. Of course, this track right on the coast, even from the aerial view of the track that I've got in my book, you can see the coast. So this typically quite a green track, as they call it, where there's not much rubber laid down, due to the fact that it is pretty exposed to sand. Same with a circuit in the UK. Half of it is exposed to a coastline, so half of it rubbers in, the other half doesn't, and that creates, I believe it's Anglesey, I believe it creates incredible racing. Well, I know it does as well. A mentor from karting, Jack Tritton. Well, not mentor. He well, taught me the ropes early on and chilled from there on. A great guy, incredible racer. He races Division 1 Superkarts, won the title last season in the UK. So right now we are just waiting for the signal. Once again, and as always, that signal must come from ping, from the admins in your division chat. So we are still waiting for the get-go here. As there it is, and it comes in the form of 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go around Zandvoort in Division 2. Great start there from Williams and Pintita. He seems to be ghosting through a lot of people as we head to Tarzan. Looking like a little bit of contact further back, but most people got away well, and Carl Power got away extremely well, straight into pole. So here is something that I really wanted to express, but unfortunately I ate my food too fast and felt a bit woozy. Still do, but we have a race on our hands, and that is one hell of a race. Saji getting up past Hammer as, oh, that's Hammer on the gravel. Not ideal for the Mercedes man. Mendel and Hampan fighting out here. This is great stuff, heading into second of the triple right-hander, but a poor exit for Mendel means that the other half gets him side by side for the lead of the race. Bloomsy retakes it, but goes a little wide in the process. That'll invite Carl right onto his gearbox again, but this is the metric we're going to get in terms of who went for a wet or who went for a dry setup. The wet setup drivers will struggle massively in a straight line, but just will have more raw pace here. As Bloomsy goes fastest to the inside, goes Carl into turn 1. Tarzan, He's there, still there, but Bloomsy defends it very nicely. Carl still very much in the mix here. Pintita trying to stick with, of course, I believe, third place in Division 2 last season. He missed round 1, but he's back now. It was a big twitch there for Carl as he's looking to get to grips with this very soggy Zandvoort track. He runs a little wide there. He's got to be careful not to overpush. The wet is not about being quick straight out the blocks. It's about getting into that groove. Sometimes you have to be a little slower for a lap or two and then bring it back up. Bloomsy starting to pull away already. But here comes Pintita closing into the back of Carl now, who's started to look in his own mirrors more than ahead, and he gets a snap there, gets on that inside curb, really makes the car dodgy. Overtake for Pintita. There won't be a move here. No DRS as well to note due to the fact it is raining. Purple lap from Pintita there. Everyone on the Inter, so we'll get rid of that graphic completely. Ooh, snap. Big snap. Just going to pause just for a quick second. As Carl runs a little bit wide there, he's just trying to find his own way around these 14 corners. That front left is still going to be critical. Bit of a look up there as Drem and Hampan fighting it. Drem's gone wide actually into the gravel, rejoins into the path of Ramsey, who takes P11. He's still off the road. Down the inside goes Nico as well. Gets the position quite nicely. Drem is going to have a comeback and a half. It's not been good luck for the Kick Sabers so far. Losey has passed been passed by Rogue Nico as well, who's on a charge here through the field, looking to get some points. Ramsey, after saying he bottled his last 2 quali laps, he's showing some form of pace here as Bloomsy sets the fastest lap out front and continues to gap the field. It's the closest gaps on track. All right, now it's not over the points. I'll come back to him, but to be of mention, if Carl's 6th in this position, he will still be leading the championship. A little bit of a lock-up on entry for Drem there. Tries to teammate Kai all over the back of him. It's weird seeing Kai outside of Ferrari, I cannot lie. Just trying to see if green suits him well, as that's wide for Nico ahead. And Drem, ooh, contact with Nico, who's going to try and sling it back down the inside. Car all over the place. Now Kai looks for it. Good helicopter view. Looks like Nico's put on the afterburners and looks to clock out. Bloomsy just steadily pulling a gap now to Carl, who might be able to settle himself into a nice smooth rhythm here. It's Pintita not close enough behind. Carl, he spins! Carl's locked the rear on entry and he's round. Struggling with the lack of ABS on that car, and he's locked up into turn 1 and the car's just gone round on him. A rear end lockup. He's got to move his bias more forwards so that he locks the front first, because that is the danger of running dry bias in the wet. As Saji and Mendel fighting over P9 and 10. It looks like Mendel has that position. They're looking to go side by side ahead here as well. Hampan looking on Carl, who's just going to try and recover something out of this race now. He's behind his teammate LFC. To the inside goes Hampan, not quite. That might open the door for Mendel in the mix, who does force Hampan a little defensive there. and that allows him to open up the track. As damn, says Willsey in the chat. Just unfortunate mistake. I think Willsey, you might have to do what Kusky did last season and sort of be the mentor who pushes the drivers in his team forward, because Carl is a quick driver. He just needs that little bit more consistency, as he's under threat here from Hampan, who is unable to make a move. That's a little wide for Carl. He's starting to settle into a poor groove here. Yeah, that's fair. Just an unfortunate spin for Carl. But get his head back up and hopefully look forward. He is running a different line through there. It's all half spin ahead for LFC. Well saved. Does that open the door for... Oh, down the inside goes Hampan, a move very bold and audacious, but it loses him a position to Mendel now. The Red Bull all over the RB. It is the old team that we used to call RB for short, against the team that says they're actually RB as their name, even though it is Racing Bulls, as that's Ramsey spinning off in the background into the wall. I don't think he picked up much damage from it, nothing visual from our end. That drops him down to 15th, and he'll have a recovery and a half to do, but he's on the outside of Kai. He gives him the squeeze as Carl has made a mistake. Yellow flags. That is Carl. Yellow flags for Carl, who dives into the pits after a mistake. 10-second penalty for speeding into the pits. It's not seeming like his day so far, and he retires in the pits. That is torrid luck for Carl. Just made a mistake on the exit of 14. So easy. Yeah, I'd agree. It is easy to do when you've had a bad race last time out and it starts off bad this time. It's so easy to instantly snap back into the mindset you were at the end of the last race. But Carl, it's an incredible driver. He will come back and he will find form because the pace is there. And it's like Christine Horner once said a couple of years back, I'd rather have a quick car that's unreliable than a slow car that's reliable. He isn't a quick car, but there is unreliabilities in his driving. Inconsistencies would be the better word. He irons them out, he runs more practices, gets more used to the game, and he surely will find it. And that is when Carl will win a title. And again, spin off another quote. Nicky Lauda once said, when he got given an award, he said he dedicated it to losers and said out of losing he learnt far, far more. Carl should take that. Take it on the chin like he did last time. But for now, we've got a fight on our hands for P6. Bit of a snap there for Hampan. All over the back of Mendel. Oh, he broke really late there. Had a look at it. He had a look. Certainly had a look. Bloomsy goes fastest. He's starting to pull a gap here on the field as Pintita into the pits. That'll be a set of dries. Huh? Maybe. LFC retires in the pits. It's a double DNF for RB. As that is definitely the wrong tyre choice for Pintita. I've still got rain on my screen. There's no way it's drying, right? It is. So there is rain on my screen, but it is dry conditions. Because Pintita is not losing out here. And maybe even get the undercut on Bloomsy. Yellow flag, there's a spinner. That'll be a Red Bull, that'll be... oh no, that's LFC. Out the pits, or it's Shad. No, it's LFC. As into the pits comes Raven and Hawash. So, Bloomsy not thinking it's time yet, but the rain is gone now. Rain is gone. And this certainly spices up the race. That does too. VFC deploy. There is a car out of the race. Kai. Pit entry. Strange place to crash, but Kai now out of the race as well. We are down to 14 runners left. As the VSC still out, Kai leaves the session. Should wait to go green again. Will Bloomsy be able to take advantage of this? 10 seconds speeding into the pit lane penalty as we go green. As he sped into the pits, Losey gets a drive through, speeding under VSC. So easy to overcook it on that pit entry. It's only 36-37 mile an hour pit lane speed limit, and it is catching people out here like crazy. And out of the pits then comes Horn. Out of the pits comes Bloomsy. 8 seconds ahead of Pintita, and Bloomsy may well go to the end of the race. Mendel gets the time penalty. Speeding in the pits is ruthless on this game. 10 seconds. There's yellow flags. Losey has had a spin in the mix. I'm just going to lower the volume of my music. As Hampan and Rogue Nico fought. So that may be a bit of gravel on Nico's tyres as he's suffering severe understeer there. No front wing. That is why Hampan has damage and will have to come into the pits. Not really much going on at the moment. Apart from that, Losey the only real gap within a second. As this race settles into a bit of a rhythm. I'm going to turn chat back on. I'll be honest, to the people watching, this is going to be quite, as Losey gets a penalty for speeding in the pits, Hampan gets the same. This is going to be quite an absent comms race. I did not sleep very well last night. In fact, I didn't barely sleep at all, so I'm struggling to keep up with the chaos that HRA provides. I will try, but Carl apologising for it in chat. There is no reason to apologise. It was a strong race pace-wise. Maybe it could be something to do with a lack of comfort as Bloomsy sets the fastest lap. Oh, Hampan's in the wall again. He's exited the pits and put it in the wall again. That is so unlucky from Hampan. As the Haas driver having an absolute stinker here. A race to forget. One that he will surely not be a big fan of. Normally a semi-competitive, if not up there, driver, Hampan. He's had days where he's certainly an incredible driver. As I'm in game chat, whoever bet on it, they are. Take your money. Hi. Bye-bye. Once again, always when I'm talking about a driver and on board with them, never when it's about, always when it's something so personal. Always. As I was saying before I was interrupted by Hampan dying. It could maybe be a lack of comfort or feel within the force feedback that you're running. That is something that I did. On F122 I wasn't comfortable. Early game I didn't play the game for ages. Come back to it and I mucked about with my settings, found something that worked with the game, and I hadn't had that much fun in ages driving an F1 game, as that is Mendel round the outside. Rogue Nico looks to clap back side by side with Mendel as they head down towards turn 3, and Mendel sweeps clean round the outside, goes a little wide. Nico will get the cut back through the back corner, allows him to get a rocket ship exit. Sampan did retire in the pits, and Mendel keeps that, or gets the move, sorry. As Bloomsy, I think he may be going to the end, maybe. Shad's had a little bit of an off. That may allow Ramsey to pass him. One thing I've noticed, Ramsey over revs the car a lot. I know he may be watching the stream back. Try and shift it just before 12k instead of 13.5, because you hear, once that starts blinking, you're actually losing overall engine power and efficiency in terms of fuel saving. So anything above 12k revs is not worth going into. Engine braking, yes, is all wide from Ramsey. I think he's heard me talking about him on stream and made a mistake. My apologies. But shifting, yeah, shifting at that 12k point tends to be the best. 22 game, indeed it does. Indeed it does. Sorry about the DNF as well. Just one of those. I would say you get to watch some great racing, but to be honest, there ain't much going on right now. Saji looking for P5, which would be a great bounce back after the mistake last round. Would certainly take that. Even a P6 he'd take. Haas boys are strong. I'm proud of the lads. We'll be a top team one day. One day. Saji gets the switchback on Horn. Gets some momentum. Horn dives front end into the corner. Saji got a little bite of the inside curve and that helped him get it round. He's got DRS. He's looking to the inside. Down the main straight he goes. Saji takes P1 in terms of that fight for P5. How about that? And that is how tired I am that my dumbass thinks that any battle is a battle for P1. That's the level of tiredness I've hit right now. And it is not good. It's not fun. As Ramsey retires from the session, horrible luck for Ramsey, but I think he's retired on track as well. he has as well. That causes chaos and allows Saji to pass Horn. Naughty, naughty. Oh, spin for Horn. Saves it. Just about saves it. Saji will look to close in on the back of Hawash. Saji, a new driver to HRA, which is brilliant to say. We've got one in P1 as well. Only one OG has won any of the 3 races that we've run so far, and it's looking to be 1 out of 4 for the OGs. It looks like the new dogs very much, they've injected something new to HRA, which it didn't really need, but it's benefited from it, I must say. And somehow, despite all the new names, it still remains the same community. It is brilliant. Lucky Ramsey. In future though, pop it in the pit lane and retire as well, because stewards don't tend to look at that very nicely. But unlucky, and that's something that you can build on the P9. Having the pace, but yeah, just unlucky. Just in general. Nah, it's all good, man. But an unlucky race. And again, same I said to Hampan, I would say there's get to enjoy the racing. There's not too much going on right now. It's a bit boring. Well, to be fair, for your second league race, you're not doing too bad. No, I had the luxury of being decently quick and having 2 years of as that's a mistake for Horn. I had the luxury of 2 years of experience racing my mates in lobbies regular. I was a 5-lapper, online 5-lapper and 25% race. I used to bully them on 2017 and 18 on my wheel, and then I got my fan. Then I got my I think no. I used to league race on. Do you know the Thrustmaster 458 Italia wheels, or 458 Spider? Depends on what country you're from. They named it different things for some reason, I think. But that had a rubber band in it for force feedback. I used to race on one of them. It did not have any force feedback, and that was my first wheel. But it got me really, really used to it. And then I broke it one day, and Thrustmaster TMX Pro. Yeah. Going pad to wheel is a learning curve I've never done. Yeah, on F1 2015, my first F1 game that I owned, because I couldn't afford 2016. Yeah, I was a pad player, and I got half decent. And as well, lockdown, I only had access to F1 2018 when I moved to, well, went to my dad's for a couple months, just in the middle of the lockdown, because as a kid, let me clarify, it was legal to do that in the UK. Yeah, I'm looking to get a Mazda as well, Wilsey. Are you still Xbox, or have you? Oh, well, were you Xbox in the first place? I think, yeah, you were. Have you switched to PC? Because Mazda have got. I know they've got an Xbox wheel, but I don't know. It just seems like it looks a little bit flimsy, and I want one with a Formula rim on it. I'm pretty particular about that since they had the. Yeah. I'm pretty particular about the wheel that I have, as Raven pumps in the fastest lap. I do absolutely love to have myself a Formula rim. I had the Formula V2.5 from Fanatec, cost an absolute arm and a leg, got the paddles extension from it. Mendel sets the fastest lap of the race, now the track really getting into the groove. Mendel's past Saji as well. But yeah. everyone looks to be going for Monza, and I am. I'll be honest, I did have money for it, but that has all gone down the drain. All of my savings is gone because I am doing the second 24-hour race that Daytona Milton Keynes is doing, the karting track in the UK. I'd call it the second best in the UK. Very, very good track, especially if you go on their D-Max karts, which have a Rotax Max Evo engine and specialist chassis, and they are beautiful to drive. And I'm doing a 24 with my mates. I've got Albini, I'm not sure if you've heard of him, Willsy, he's going to be racing in it. Alicio as well. Names you might have come across. Will be racing in it. And there's a couple of lads from MAR Esports. Yeah, Albini's a close mate of mine. IRL as well. We'll all be doing it, all 6 of us, and unfortunately, because I'm the one who has the job and people are struggling for money, I've said, look, I'll just buy you all transmitters so we can have radio comms, because in a 24 we're going to need that radio comms. We've got 4 of them. We've got fitting kits for every helmet, 6 drivers and 4 radio units. Everyone's got their fitting kits, of course, but as Shad goes into the pits, bolts on the soft, sees what he can do. Still got 15 laps to go, but yeah, unfortunately 220 quid later, I am out of pocket for this month, and that is going to come out of savings, as is the rest of the money for the race. So yeah, but it's only in Sodis that we're doing the race. But I do recommend that track. It is beautiful. Again, second best in the country of the UK. Oh well, in England. You got some good ones in Wales and Scotland as well, but I've never driven them. But I have driven PFI, and that is the best track in the UK by a margin. Nothing even close in terms of karting, in my opinion. Saji into the pits, getting rid of them tyres, putting a new front wing on. That'll be why things dropped onto the softs. No fights really happening right now. We'll chill with Pintita and see what the Williams is doing. Oof. Onwards and upwards, indeed. Don't forget, don't just practice time trial. That is one big thing on wheel. Just run races in there. Just get an AI. If you want a fight, get an AI that you're comfortable with, and just run a race on equal cars. If you don't want them in the way, run them a little bit lower, and just run a full race. Just that's what's good about enjoying driving F1 games, is when you're enjoying driving an F1 game, practice comes natural. I had that in F1 22 and 21. 23, I did not care about the game. The handling model was not it. I went from game to karts, but I got used to karts and the feeling, the raw feeling you get with no power steering, which is why my force feedback was so high. But on F1 23, the handling model was absolutely diabolical. It just did not feel real. It felt so disconnected. I tried everything on the settings, and it never clicked. Never clicked. But yeah, that's why I've not got a wheel at the moment. I literally, quick race. If you want to get used to driving that track, just load into a practice session. It gets you used to how much fuel you burn. It gets you used to the tires. So what? Yeah. Just I think a quick race in general, but for practice, this was my peak like MSC practice routine and the one that I did for that race that I absolutely dominated in the Aston Martin on F122 realistic in this row league. So I tended to do either 2 60-minute sessions, one dry, where I'd spend 20 minutes focusing on each tyre. So I'd run the hards on race fuel for how many laps, so I know which tyre I was going to start on because I checked the strategy beforehand. So I'd run it with a fuel load I expect to have. So say if I was doing medium hard, I run the mediums first with the amount of fuel I think I'd need, the hards next, and then I do 10 minutes on the softs just to see how they reacted with my tyre pressures and setup. 10 minutes quali practice, and I do a wet session where it will be half of the hour would be inter and half of it would be wet, and I do 15 minutes on the wet setup for that chosen tyre and 15 minutes on a hybrid setup for if it started to rain or if it was partially raining during the race, just a setup that was sort of a mix between them. So basically dry with front wing changes and diff changes and all that. And then go in, I do at least 2 full quali sessions. How do you get... It's just driving. Another thing is watch the good guys. Watch what lines they take. A lot of them in this game will be absolutely bullying the physics of these cars because the handling model is awful. Willsey started doing it on rotation to corners where it just like it bugs out so weirdly, but it's so quick. But yeah, run my 2 full quali sessions, run at least a race stint, doing a dry race stint, a wet race stint, and if I'm not comfortable with my either of them, I'll do another one. About 6 to 8 hours practice for a race. That was it. That was me at the peak, and that is not realistic for a league in general. But that was what I had to do to stay up there with the big dogs, and I do it again. I do it again every day. As Losey's been passed by Saji, who sets the fastest lap. We are still going on here. Pintita yet to pit. And Bloomsy does have a penalty to serve, so this race will get exciting. So if he pits or not. And if Pintita can make them tyres last long. Race day and times for this league. So we have Wednesday. All these times are in current UK time zone. We have today, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Division 2. Friday, we have Division 1 at 8 o'clock. And we're looking to get Division 3 up and running. We're not quite sure on what day. But that will be up and running very soon. If you want a link to the Discord, I can give you one in the chat. I'd like to apologise as well if you are a newcomer for the lack of quality of this stream. It has been quite a boring race, especially for this league standards. I hope you could copy that link. That is an invite code to the Discord. At the moment, a lot of the admins are racing, but yeah, good. Yeah, I get that, Ramsey. I get that. But just it is difficult because my practice used to be bullying time trial to get used to the track. At least do that. because you want to get used to the setup and car combo at the top level, but Division 2, just getting used to the track, because if you can have that quick lap where you hook everything up, every lap past that will feel somewhat similar to it. Well, in terms of you can always try and replicate it and use your delta as well, setting your ghost to the quick guys on time trial. That's a big one for learning how to up the raw pace, because everyone has their limits. It's just finding that out, and then past that you do start to get into the finer details of stuff. Like, I'll have a conversation that I scrolled up to between me and Wheelsy back in 2021 from a league we both raced in. We were chatting about the wings, angles, setups for quite a while, it seemed, and that was just a top level league. I can't be, gotta be completely honest, I don't remember it, but it gets so technical to find that finer bit. The level that Division 2 is at, it's so good to watch in terms of racing. It's not been a belter of a race, this one. It's been quite a snooze fest. But normally, Division 2 is so much more exciting because at the top, everyone is so even, such fine margins. That's the excitement. But in Division 2, it's the chaos. It's the carnage, it's the spins, it's the random lockups. And it's everyone banging in fast laps out of completely nowhere because someone will hook it up once. And it's those who get used to hooking it up on the regular who achieve promotion. As Shad's struggling here, I do think we'll be glad to have Division 3 up for some drivers' sakes in the field, because they deserve to have a competitive chance. Nothing against Shad, but he's just struggling to get to grips with this race and this division in general, so I feel like it'll be more fair. He is about to get lapped by Drem, so by Horn, so that's up to P7. Fight for the lead is stagnated for now. It's looking pretty tight, to be quite honest, between Bloomsy and Pintita on return for taking a win. Because that penalty, I'm not sure if it's going to get removed or not, but Pintita would have done a mighty stint on these mediums if they can last him in terms of the race. As well, Ramsey, finding the right setup is key to league racing. I know it sounds so basic, but it's so hard to find a setup that works and works for you. That's why people tend to have better tracks. Indeed, Ironland will be happy watching this one back through. If he's not fallen asleep already. Oh, wait, there's the first yawn. Hello. The iconic yawns are returning. I'll be building puzzles right now. Aye, it should be on time trial at Singapore. Come on, Matt. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, we haven't had an awesome day at Haas. Of course, Hampan, poor luck. Couple small errors in there that costed front wings, and it retired in the pits. Yeah. And Saji's had a strong race but had to box for a new front wing after a collision. But as I say, it's not like RB, who've landed some very nice drivers. LFC Carl, Division 2 drivers, of course won the team principal, so of course he's going to be in the car, but two strong drivers and the best lineup in Division 1. fact, the best. It'll win the constructors if they hook it all up. The Haas, no one really wants to drive the Haas, but it's got unbelievable history in this league that I could waffle on about every stream, but I waffled on about it last stream in Division 1. As Bloomsy crosses the line to start lap 33. There's your penalties, people. But we'll improve on what we've got, and I want the quick drivers to want to drive for Haas because it's a good team. I know they're not quick in real life, but come on. Who doesn't like a good underdog story? That's what Haas is about. That's what HRA is about. Saji closing in on Rogue Nico. No DRS this lap, but there will be for next lap. And once again, for those watching the stream, this Friday I will try and get a cover commentator. If you know anyone who wants to commentate, especially if they're on Xbox, it would help. Get them in contact with one of the admins, get them a login and title for the stream and everything, and they can have a go at HRA this Friday. Week after is a maybe for me on Division 1 again. So this week I can't do Div 1 unfortunately. Week after I can maybe come home and do it, but it's not likely. And then the week after that I can do, and the week after that I can't do Div 2 or 1. So unfortunately there's going to be 4 streams I can't make this coming month, as this is a move from Saji, but 4 that I can't make this month. 3 of them being Division 1 and 1 of which being Division 2. So if anyone wants to cover some great racing, they are more than welcome to. Just get them to get in contact with one of the admins and sort it from there. I'm going to try and get cover for this Friday, but I cannot promise anything, as it is raining, I believe, as we are on the penultimate lap. Let's have a look at this for the lead then. It's been quite an absent race this race just in general. Not been a cracker, but we do have a race on the line. And once again, apologies for the absent comms today. I am tired out of my mind. I have tried, but my brain is just not up to scratch at the moment. The yellow flags for a spinner. The Mercedes in the wall. That will be Hammer. Nico is up on the back of Saji. This gap that Pentita is nursing cannot come down. Cannot come above. There you go. My brain is gone. It must stay under 10 seconds. There is 1 lap left for that to be decided. Will it be Pentita with an emphatic return to Division 2, with a return win for him in his first league race on this game, or will it be Bloomsy redemption after last race? After all the chaos, he has to pull out 3 seconds this lap, so it's not looking likely. Saji's closed up to the back of Horn, and Rogue Nico closed up to the back of Saji. That's going to be a fight that rages on for the lower points paying positions. Between P7 and P9 are fighting, but this is more of a fight of gap, because Pentita has to stay within these 10 seconds. It's looking more and more likely, unless there is a big mistake for Pintita, that he will take a win. Bloomsy will move into a better position. I believe Raven will lead the championship still. No, will lead the championship still. But is Bloomsy round the final corner to take the checkered flag and the win on track? But it will be Pintita round turn 14. The Williams, after a stellar drive all the way through, takes P1 at the end of it all. And Raven will come home P3 in a strong drive, in a very strong outfield after the race today. A very strange one, it must be said, as Hawash, another strong place. Podium last time, P4 this time. Solid drive. Mendel gets a 10-second. As Saji has passed Horn. Nico could not do the move, and Saji will get the move on Drem as well. So a decent recovery after being in the fight for P5 and unable to get it. Saji will get P6 and a strong recovery drive on the soft tyre. Drem P7, Horn P8, Nico P9, Lozy P10. And Shad and Lozy, yes, across the line. Shad, the last of them. Oof. All good. A win is a win, and I don't think that penalty will be removed for his name's completely slipped my mind. Completely. I am so tired right now. Hence, you won't find much excitement in the comes to this race, Pintita, even on the last lap. But hey, add all the excitement on track. It is a win. Strong showing. He is up there with the top ones. So I'm going to be ending this one up after the results have been shown on stream, just in case if someone's forgot to take them. Oh no, it's booted me from the game. Oh dear. Well, thank you all for joining the Apollo Waffle session. It's been fun for me. I'm not sure about for the viewers, but we all bounced back. Unfortunately, yes, I cannot make Division 1 this Friday, but Division 2 next week I certainly can, and I will try and cover again for the racers who've just finished racing. If you know anyone who does comms, get them in contact with the admins so they can do some covering. There'll be 3 Div 1 races and 1 Div 2 race this month that I won't be able to make, unfortunately. But I must have some holiday throughout the year, unfortunately, and that does mean I have to miss HRA. Very, very sadly, but yeah. Thank you for joining. It was a bad race, let's be honest, but we were there for the vibes, and indeed there was plenty. So we move on to the next race after Raven continues to extend his lead in the championship standings, I believe. Strong stuff. McLaren in the lead of the constructors by my quick sum up of maths. Yeah, we'll see you next round. Have a good one, guys. Ta-da.